Hey there, it's Lacey J, here to ask you to go to spacebearmedia.com right now to access all our content, buy yourself some merch, and most importantly, send us a message, a question, fan mail, even hate mail. We'll respond on YouTube. Also, please remember to rate and review the podcast on your favorite app or share it with someone you know who loves Lost. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Lost in My 40s, Season 4, Episode 3. It's called The Economist. It's a Sayid episode. It's a Ben episode. But first, how's everybody doing this week?
Awesome.
Great.
Are we ready for some more flash forwards?
Yes.
Indeed.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
But first, Ben, please update us. What do our rankings look like after the first two super strong episodes of Season 4?
Yeah, we'll start from the bottom. Third, well, actually, we'll start third from the bottom.
Yes.
Third from the bottom is Christian, Shepard, and Naomi with -6 points. We got Jack in second to last with -7 points. And at the bottom, we've got the terrifying Matthew Abaddon, -8 points.
Terrible.
Wow, that was dramatic.
Now we have some kind of some surprises at the top, I would think. Everyone's favorite, Frank Lapidus, in third place with 11 points, with Daniel Faraday just behind him in fourth place with 10 points. We got Ben Linus in second place with 15 points, despite the unfair witch hunt that Christy has launched on him. It is the most poorly anyone's ever been treated in history.
Yes.
Ben
in
is
the history of the world.
It's huge.
Benjamin Linus is the most persecuted man on the island.
Sad.
Very sad what they're doing to him.
Great man. Little hands. Great hands.
He built a sonic fence. He built a sonic fence, a beautiful sonic fence.
Yeah, beautiful. Most gorgeous fence you've ever seen. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Smoke monster can't get to it.
Yep, exactly. And first place.
Who's at the top? Who's at the top?
The mayor of Island Town.
Yeah.
With 23 points.
Loving it. All right. So
I'm loving it.
yeah, I
loving
just sound a little like the McDonald's. Like
You did.
yeah, sorry. Okay, Ben. It's time for you to tell us all about Sayid and The Economist.
It's still day 92 on the island. When the episode opens, Sayid is kneeling near the helicopter praying. He opens his eyes and looks at Naomi's body laying several yards away. Jack and Juliet pass by, and some of their conversation can be heard. Jack wants to know if Ben had ever talked about knowing anyone off the island, and Juliet tells him no. Miles is following after them and wants to know if they know where Ben is. Sayid gets up and walks around towards Naomi's corpse. Miles says he knows nothing about Ben other than his name and what he looks like, and that the people paying him are paying him a lot to find Ben.
Oh?
Faraday. Yeah.
Lots.
And we know it's not Penelope Widmore.
Nope.
Correct.
Erect.
Erect.
Daniel Faraday gives Kate a concerned look, and Sayid kneels next to Naomi to close her eyes. Jack tells Miles that Ben is with Locke and Charlotte, and he knows where they are headed. Sayid pulls the blanket over Naomi's face. Miles wants his gun back, but Jack says he'll have to give answers to get it.
That's right.
Sayid pulls Naomi's wrist from under the blanket and removes a bracelet. He looks at it curiously and sees an inscription on the inside that reads N, the letter N. I will always be with you, RG.
Who is RG?
Who is RG?
Yeah, so don't get too attached to that question because this is one of the few things in the show that is never answered.
Oh,
Well, fuck.
FYI.
that sucks. I'm done. Fuck this shit. Fucking shitty writing. God.
At least I warned you.
Remember,
Yeah, thank you.
the shitty writing is due to the writer's strike during this season.
That's what it is.
That's
Actually,
okay.
this really didn't catch me much, this NG. I don't know.
Yep. Good. Let it go.
Okay.
Take it out of your mind.
Kate tells Miles that Locke's group is armed and he can't just waltz in and grab Charlotte. Miles points out that
Could he
he's
like
also
cha-cha in maybe?
armed. Yeah, there you go.
Waltz.
Foxtrot.
Foxtrot, yeah.
Do the Matthew Foxtrot.
Uh-oh.
Do the Cabbage Patch. Or the Running Man.
It was all ballroom dances that Christy jumps in with the
Cabbage Patch.
Yeah.
Sprinkler.
Oh my god.
Miles points out that he is also armed when Sayid cuts in to say, "You're not going anywhere."
That's right.
Then, even though he told Jack the helicopter would fly in the last episode, which he could not have known, which we discussed, Sayid asks Lapidus now, will the helicopter fly? When Lapidus confirms it
what it
will,
does.
Sayid tells him to take it to the ship. Jack is hesitant, but Sayid insists. Lapidus says there's enough fuel to carry 3 people other than him. And Miles
Fuck
is
does he
pissed.
know that? Can you
Weight
calculate
and
that
balance.
maybe?
Weight
Yeah,
and
like
balance.
with how empty or full the fuel taken is.
Yeah.
You think there's
You have to do
like
that before
some
you fly,
calculations?
pre-flight.
I
Yep.
see. Okay.
Miles is pissed that they are considering leaving Charlotte. So Sayid makes a deal with Lapidus. He'll bring Charlotte back from Locke's camp and Lapidus will fly him to the freighter.
Yeah, it's a good
So
line.
I had a question here. Like in the last episode, he was saying, she's just meat. That's not her. But now he wants her to go back to the freighter. I'm not like, what's the motive there?
No, Sayid wants to take her back, right? It's not
Yeah,
Miles.
Sayid does.
Oh, it was Sayid. Okay,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
We must
That's
wash
right.
her body and take her back.
That's right.
I love the line that Lapidus has there at the end of that scene. You bring Charlotte home safe and I will take you off this island. It's like,
Damn.
oh, yeah.
Take you off the island.
This brings us to flash forward number 1. Sayid is teeing off.
Wait,
I'm sorry. I'm confused.
about what?
Where in that paragraph do they talk about taking Naomi back to the freighter?
Because I think you're referring to the end of the episode when they do
Oh.
take her.
Spoiler.
So he jumped from this scene to that scene without saying anything, and we just followed him there. That's
Okay.
why.
Okay.
It's Ben's fault.
Sorry
My
to
bad.
confuse
That's
you,
okay.
dear.
We can pick up
Okay.
at flash forward number 1.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you,
very,
host.
very considerate of you.
Yes. The new host here.
This is Christy approved.
Oh, my
All right.
God.
This brings us to flash forward number 1, where Sayid is teeing off on a golf course on a beach, about to play a game of 3-hole, maybe.
Uh-oh.
3-hole. Yeah.
As Sayid walks toward his ball, he sees a golf cart coming, and he puts his clubs down. A man with an Italian accent says good morning and asks if Sayid would like a ride to the next hole. Sayid thanks him and says, well, my ball is right here. Yeah.
I don't know why that's
My balls are right here, buddy.
funny. Holes and balls. I don't know. Sticks.
The man comments on how Sayid is the only person he's seen out there all morning, to which Sayid replies, I believe we are paying quite a premium for that kind of privacy.
Whoa.
The man gets out of the cart and watches as Sayid gets ready for his next shot. He asks Sayid if this is the first time he's been to Seychelles, and gives him advice on what club to use. Sayid declines his advice, so the man decides to make it a bet. He says, I thought he said 50 to see who can hit the ball closer, and then Sayid basically takes him up on it and says,
Ups it.
but
Yeah.
we're going to do 100.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
And then the guy says something about how, isn't it great how, gambling makes everything more fun?
Does.
The guy asks him what he does for a living, and Sayid says that he does nothing, and that he was the recipient of a large settlement. And the man asks him if it was a corporate merger, and Sayid says, actually, a plane crash. Oceanic Flights 815. I am Sayid Jarrah, one of the Oceanic 6.
Oh.
Whoa.
At this point, the man looks like somebody sucked all
Yeah,
the life
this-
out of him. He looks terrified.
He does look
Got
terrifying.
me. Why would he be afraid of the Oceanic 6?
Gosh, I don't know.
Lord.
Also, we've got how many now? Four of the 6 already, just in the third episode.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So Sayid takes a shot and ends up being a really fairly close to the pin. And then he asks the other guy, he says, "Take your shot, my friend." The other guy comes up with a 5-iron, I guess. He takes a shot and ends up landing even closer. Then the man starts to walk back to the golf cart and says, "Never mind, don't worry about the wager." But Sayid
Like, he's
insists on
definitely
paying him.
scared.
Yeah,
Right?
he's trying to get out of there.
Yeah.
He's fucked.
So Sayid insists on paying and then reaches into his golf bag. Again, the man protests, but then Sayid says, "I insist, Mr. Avellino," before pulling a gun from the golf bag and shooting him dead right there on the fairway.
Whoa.
Yeah, when someone calls you by your name that you don't know, you're going to get shot.
Yeah,
Is that the rule?
by your last name. Yeah.
exactly. So Sayid picks up his clubs, and then as the sprinklers come on, he just walks away. It actually looks like he walks right through one of those sprinklers.
Yeah.
It does.
I think it might have been odd if he veered out of the way. It wouldn't look quite so awesome,
Dramatic.
but he totally got fucking wet doing that.
Yep, he strolled right on through there.
And that takes us to the Lost title screen.
Now he's an assassin.
It
It
certainly
looks
looks
that
like
way.
it.
Mm-hmm. At least he's not torturing.
Yeah, he
That's
puts
right.
them out of their misery quickly.
Yeah, exactly. We come back to the flash forward, and some time has passed, but now we're in Berlin, and Sayid walks into a cafe dressed to the nines. This is sort of like John Wick light going on here, I feel like.
Yeah.
He's looking for a place to sit down, and he asks a German woman if the seat at her table is free. She nods, and he sits down and pulls out a map. When she asks him in German where he's going, Sayid tells her, "Ist free" is the only thing he can say. So she switches to English, and Sayid comments that he loves Europe because everybody speaks English.
That is nice.
I'm
He
sure
tells her
that
that-
he knows more than just is free. Like
You
he
would
knows
think.
beer.
Yeah, we went
true.
over that in a pre-show, I think.
That's
Calling
yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
He tells her that he's looking for Potsdamer Platz, and she tells him that he's only 1 block away. Sayid glances around the cafe, and the woman introduces herself as Elsa. The server takes his order, and he actually says
Espresso.
Yeah,
God damn
I
it.
hated that.
Espresso.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no X in that word. That made me
Espresso.
really angry at Sayid.
Also,
I
of course,
don't
the
like
blonde
that at all.
German woman's name is Elsa.
Why wouldn't it
Well,
be?
yeah.
Exactly.
It's just not Broomhilda. or-
Broomhild. Yeah,
Could
exactly.
be Brunhilde or Helga or something like that.
Brunhilde
Helga.
von Schatz.
Mm-hmm.
Sayid tells her that he's a corporate headhunter, and Elsa says, "My employer is an economist. He works in emerging markets. Actually, I don't really understand what he does, which doesn't matter since all I do is shop for him." She holds up a pager, this is a sign of the times, and continues, "If this goes off, I'm at his side instantly," which is wonderful since he's only in Berlin once or twice a year.
Mhm.
When the server sets down his coffee, blip.
His
When the server
espresso.
when the server sets his espresso down on the table, Sayid thanks him in German, and then Elsa asks Sayid if they know each other.
Yeah, they actually have a little moment where they kind of stare at each other and they're giving like googly eyes and whatnot. Yeah. It's kind of cute.
Sayid says he'll tell her exactly how they know each other if she lets him take her to dinner. Smooth.
Yeah.
Bam.
Smooth.
Sayid. He picked
She
me
makes a
up
mark
doing
on his
that.
map and says, "This is the restaurant you're taking me to tonight, 8 p.m. Well, if you can find it."
Oh.
Challenge
Elsa for the
accepted.
flirt win. Like, yeah. Yeah, there's good chemistry between them in this scene. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially later, too.
Yeah.
So Sayid is now walking down the street, and a siren can be heard in the distance. He takes his cell phone out and makes a call. A quiet voice answers and says, "Hello?" Sayid says, "I made the contact." The man on the phone says, "Good." And Sayid hangs up and throws it into the waste bin. He picks up some snow from the top of the bin and crushes it between his fingers as he walks away.
I didn't get that.
Derek,
I
did you
didn't either.
recognize? Did you? I don't know what that was about either. Did you recognize the voice in this scene?
I did not.
Alrighty then.
We're back to the clearing where the helicopter sits. Sayid takes something out of his pack and approaches Jack, Juliet, and Kate, who are sitting on the ground nearby. Jack stands, and Sayid tells him that it was Naomi's. It's the photo of Desmond and Penny. Sayid says she was looking for Desmond. Whatever their real agenda is, it's clear they're not sharing it. Maybe Desmond can shed some light on this. Jack asks Juliet if she'll go back to the beach. For a moment, Kate thinks he's asking her and then looks surprised and sort of pouty when she realizes he's relying on Juliet now.
She sure does.
Damn, she was like, oh.
Ouch.
I can see her little heart break right there.
Mhm. She's going to have to go like angry fuck Sawyer to get
Yeah,
over it.
exactly.
Poor Sawyer.
Yeah, I'm sure he's it's rough.
Yeah, I'd hate it if she were taking her sexual energies out on me, man. I'd be pissed off.
No, damn.
Please don't.
Sayid and Jack, it says take off. I don't want to say take off because there is a helicopter there. Sayid and Jack don't take off in the helicopter, but rather leave on foot. Sayid says he's going to make Locke release Charlotte and there won't be any bloodshed. Jack says, as opposed to the way I'd do it. Sayid points out that the last time Jack was with Locke, he put a gun to his head and pulled the trigger.
Yep.
And then he says, that's not good for diplomacy.
That's right. Have you also noticed the way that Sayid says Charlotte?
Charlotte. Yeah.
She says Charlotte. And I assume he's
noticed it
British,
too.
so he knows how to say it the right way, but it sounds like it's really long on that O.
Yeah, I think maybe it is pronounced more Charlotte than it is Charlotte here.
Charlotte.
But he's like
in
Charlotte.
the United States. Charlotte. Yeah, I thought it was weird too. Some of our Brits please email us or send us like a voice clip?
Yeah, it's like the email us. That's not going to help.
Say Charlotte, please.
So Jack huffs and seems to be annoyed at the judgment. Miles acts as though Sayid is going to try to keep him from going, but he's wrong and surprises him.
Yeah.
When he asks Sayid to give him back his gun, he gets ignored. Instead, Sayid says, "We leave in 10 minutes."
That's right.
And he does it like very dramatic, like walk toward the camera, like, it's time for a Sayid quest.
Yeah.
It's Sayid quest.
Sayid quest. Meanwhile, Locke is walking through the jungle while the group follows. Daniel has a hold of Ben's ropes. Sawyer wants to know whose Ben's spy is and calls him Gizmo when asking.
Is he referring to like gremlins?
I was wondering, like, I get it. He's kind of small and weird looking and has big eyes, but like, was that the extent of it? Or was there something in there that I didn't get?
Well, I mean, gremlins are pretty vicious at some point. Like the package that he comes in, he looks like a gizmo, but inside he's a gremlin.
Yeah,
That could be
I
why.
guess so.
I don't know if Sawyer's
Only if you
getting
feed
that
them after
deep.
midnight.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what Sawyer meant, but that was where my head went, was gremlins.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, Locke says Ben will never tell because he knows that's the only thing keeping him alive right now.
Well,
Ben looks slightly amused by this. And then Sawyer starts to go off. Sawyer's basically wondering why they don't kill him. And Locke says, because actually he says, why don't we kill him? And then he starts talking about torturing him. And he says, why don't we take a hammer and send this little piggy, take off his shoes and send this little piggy to the market and this little piggy into roast beef or some shit like that.
The roast beef. The roast
Asking why he doesn't do this. And Locke has a really, really good answer. He says, because we'd have to carry him, James, which is like, yeah.
But he carried his old man. So.
That's true. Right?
oh yeah, if he can carry Mr. Cooper around, he can probably
he doesn't
like
want to
just-
have to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cut him in half and they can split the weight.
Wow.
Damn.
Yep.
Wow.
They arrive at a clearing and Locke stares at it, concerned. Obviously, he was expecting to find something there that doesn't appear. Mm-hmm. He bends down and he picks up some of the ash from
The
that
coke
line.
line, yeah.
Yeah. The
It looks
saltpeter,
like
whatever the
gunpowder
fuck that
to me.
was. Yeah,
It
that's what I
does.
thought. Saltpeter. And this was the line that was around the cabin when he was there previously, but there was no cabin. Aaron begins to cry, and Claire asks how much longer until they get there because she needs to feed him.
Feed him right now.
Yeah, bust it out, babe.
Yeah.
Locke says,
Oh my
it should
God.
be here, the cabin. Hurley thinks they may have gotten turned around, but Locke is forceful when he says, no, it was here. Sawyer wants to know why the cabin is so important, so Ben pipes up to say, John's looking for somebody to tell him what to do next.
Yep.
He's coming for Locke this episode.
Yep.
Locke turns to look at Ben, who smiles at him. Locke casually says, I guess I was mistaken. It doesn't matter. The plan's the same. We keep moving. The barracks aren't far. Daniel points out that if Charlotte's team is with Jack, they know they're headed to the barracks. And then Sawyer points out that Charlotte was wearing a bulletproof vest, which means her people are expecting a gunfight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He says he thought the point was to go hide, and so they should let her go and do that.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't understand why they need to take prisoners. Locke says they're keeping her because she's valuable. Hurley questions this, and Charlotte says, he means as a hostage, love. Hurley is not happy and says, this isn't what we signed up for.
Mm-hmm.
Locke asks, well, what did you sign up for, Hugo?
Oh.
Wow.
Not holding hostages.
No.
Well,
I don't know.
Hurley thinks if they let her go, it will be a sign of good faith, but Locke thinks that they will see it as an act of foolishness.
he's probably
Hurley
right.
He's right. Hurley is frustrated and says he's just trying to find a compromise. Locke replies, we're beyond compromise, and right now, Hugo, I'm making the decisions. Is that going to be a problem for you?
Damn.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm on Locke's side. I think
I am too, right now, currently.
that's right. I think these people are obviously up to something. We don't really know what the primary objective is, right? Like, is it to get Ben? But if that's the case, then why the fuck are they looking for Desmond? What the hell is the connection there? Like, it seems like it's a collective of people,
Yes.
maybe with competing objectives. Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the helicopter in the clearing, and Sayid is putting his backpack on. Jack is staring off into the distance when Kate says, kind of sucks, huh? Being told not to come along. Now you know what it feels like to be me.
Oh, wah,
I
Kate.
know,
Wah.
Yeah.
Whiny.
She's
Right.
cute when she's saying this, though.
Of course. Always.
Jack laughs and says, does that mean I should wait 20 minutes and just go anyway? Kate,
Okay, that fucking line is great.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kate pulls an adorable smile there and says,
Yeah.
touche.
Mhm.
Yes.
Let's go back in the woods for a little bit.
Oh, boy.
Finish up that game.
Pass
with
that
three
20
hole.
minutes real quick.
Oh, my God.
They smile at each other, and he tells her that she should go with them. She wonders if he doesn't trust Sayid, but Jack says Locke is the one he doesn't trust.
Well,
Kate wonders what will stop Locke from doing to her what he did to Naomi, and Jack says Sawyer won't let him.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Kate walks over holding her gun and asks if she can join. Miles complains she gets to be armed, and Sayid tells her that the gun is a last resort. The three of them head out into the jungle. Jack reaches for a bottle of water in the helicopter while Lapidus asks where Sayid is from. Jack tells him Iraq, and Lapidus wonders if he was a diplomat who can just go and work everything out. And Jack says, no, he was a torturer.
I love that.
And then Lapidus's face as he's like
It's like,
processing
what?
that is fucking amazing.
What?
For a moment,
that was a great
he's like,
scene.
oh, what?
He was an interrogator.
Torturer.
It's like, did
All
I
right,
hear that correctly?
interrogator. He's an enhanced interrogator.
So Sayid is walking and looking at Naomi's bracelet. Miles and Kate are following him. Sayid wonders if Miles was close to Naomi, but he tells him that they just met on the boat. Sayid mentions Miles doesn't seem upset by her death, and Miles says, sure, I'm affected. She was hot, and I dug her accent. Kate is visibly grossed out by this
Yeah.
comment.
Yeah.
She's like,
She was.
nice, Miles.
Sayid asks if Miles cares at all about Charlotte, and Miles says, define care.
Oh my God.
Sayid makes a smartass remark about camaraderie, so Miles points out that the originals are a split-up family right now.
Well, got
He
you
asks
there.
how that happened and how Sayid tells him there was a disagreement about whether people on the freighter were there to help or kill them. Miles wonders what side Sayid is on, and Sayid says, I'll let you know when I decide.
That's right. That's right.
Which is funny because Miles has a similar response a little later on in the episode, which I feel
Yeah.
like he was just
Yeah.
being cheeky. Yeah.
Parroting. Yeah, he is cheeky. That's why
He is
I let
cheeky.
him fuck me last week. I like cheeky.
This takes us to flash forward number 2. A door with a peephole can be seen, and Elsa opens up the door, and on the other side is Sayid wearing a tuxedo. She tells him he looks fantastic,
Lacey,
and they embrace.
Pause that for a little bit.
He does look good.
Yes.
She says the tuxedo was the reason she asked him to the opera, and they kiss.
Oh.
Sayid says, if a man can't wear a tuxedo by the 5th date, why bother?
Wow.
She leads
They live in
Sayid-
a different society than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You are in
Fifth
another
date?
class, my friend.
5th? Yeah.
She leads Sayid inside into a mirror. He stands behind her as she reaches for a necklace and holds it out for him to fasten around her neck. He does so, and he reaches for her purse and pager, and she reaches for her purse and pager. She pauses for a moment, and then Sayid kisses her neck. She reconsiders and puts the pager back down, saying, if he calls tonight, so be it.
Yeah.
Sayid picks the pager up and tells her he'll carry it, and that she should tell her employer that there is newer technology available. She says he's very old-fashioned, and then asks about Sayid's boss. He responds vaguely and then deflects. She asks him why he's still there and mentions that when they met, he said he'd be in Berlin for only about a week. He tells her the job he's on is harder than he expected. Disappointed,
I bet it is.
She says, I was hoping it was because of me.
Ouch.
Sayid smiles, and Elsa kisses his cheek. He says, let's go. Strauss awaits.
Little does she know.
Strauss.
On the island, the inside of the helicopter, Faraday is looking panicked. He takes a briefcase and a large metal pole from the inside. He glances around as though he's calculating something in his little fidgety way. And then he sets the briefcase down, extends the pole into a tripod. When he opens the briefcase, it contains a bunch of like sciencey gadgets, and he starts kind of assembling them on top of this platform that he put together. Jack is looking at Lapidus, and then he points over at Faraday, and he's like, what's his story? Lapidus says, couldn't tell you. Half the stuff he says goes way over my head. The other half goes way, way over. So Faraday kind of awkwardly walks, like the tree almost like hitting him in the head, and he's sort of just being Faraday. He asks to use Frank's phone, or the phone that Frank had. Lapidus wants to know why, and Faraday tells him it's to call Regina on the boat so he can do an experiment. Lapidus hands him the phone and tells him to keep it on the science stuff and hang up if Minkowski gets on the phone.
Wow, why do they keep wanting to hang up on him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious about Minkowski.
I hate his voice.
You hate Minkowski's voice. Why is that?
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Is that what it's something about it? I don't know.
Yeah,
I have
it's the same way.
misophonia, and like certain things really set me off, and his voice just like kind of grates on me.
I get me so horny, but you know. that's just
Okay,
me.
wow.
$10.
Tubuku.
Dubuku.
Faraday
Oh, wow.
gets Regina on the phone and sets his phone down to tinker with his device. That sounds kind of vaguely sexy.
Yeah, that's why I wrote it like that.
Faraday's a cagey individual.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, well, we will talk about that Faraday in our bonus episode.
He pushes a few buttons and Regina responds with a deep exhale. No, I'm kidding. He pushes a few buttons and asks her if she's locked in. Well, that's sexy again.
Yeah,
Jack looks
Here it comes.
confused.
Give it to me. Come on.
it's coming. It's 40 kilometers away.
Jack looks confused and concerned, especially when Regina fires her payload.
There it is. Come
Jack
on.
looks around and Lapidus tells him not to worry. Daniel does this type of stuff on the ship all the time.
He does.
Okay.
Regina can be heard saying 40 kilometers to Beacon, 35 kilometers to Beacon, 30 kilometers to Beacon. You get it. This goes on and on
Right.
in increments of 5.
Yes.
After about 20, Faraday's kind of scanning the sky, expecting to see something. He doesn't see anything. And then she continues 15, 10, 5, 0. And Faraday says, I don't have it. Jack looks to Lapidus, who appears to be
keep working on
unconcerned. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
Lapidus doesn't
is
give
like
a fuck.
his cool, casual self. He's just sitting there like, look at, I'm rocking chest hair. I got a nice suntan. I'm drunk. I'm good. I'm good.
He does have some really powerful chest hair.
He does.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
And Regina says, that's weird. Again, talking about like the payload not being there. And Faraday replies, That is far more than weird.
Whoa.
Wow.
What was he doing?
The light isn't scattering correctly.
Yeah,
the
what's going
payload's
on
not
here?
arriving. What
Mhm.
the fuck?
So we have the Team Sayid approaching the barracks where laundry is still hanging from the clotheslines. Miles is crouching on the ground while Sayid moves stealthily through the jungle with Kate close behind. The barracks look like they are in disarray. There's overgrowth and overturned furniture. The swings move in the wind somehow, like they're all moving at the same time. It was really funny. You could tell like a bunch of extras or people on the staff went out there and just pulled them all.
Pushed
and
them.
then, yeah. And Miles actually seems a bit confused at that the swing set's still moving.
Yeah,
Kate
like he
wonders if-
mentions, like, what do these people have? Daycare?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Kate wonders if Locke's group is there yet, and Sayid says, let's find out. So Sayid, Miles, and Kate walk into the yard with their guns drawn. More laundry hangs on a line, and the wind chime jingles, and a loud banging is heard. They pause at a tree, and muffled shouting can be heard. Kate points and says, it's coming from in there. They run toward the house. Kate cocks her gun, and Sayid kicks open the door. The house is in disarray, dishes spilled, and furniture overturned. More shouting is heard, and Sayid rushes toward. He pauses at a set of doors that are tied shut. He places his gun in his belt, unties the ropes from the doors, and yanks the doors open. And who is on the other side but the mayor of Island Town, Hurley,
Aw.
Oh,
on the
poor
floor
Hurley.
with a gag in his mouth.
Oh.
Yeah, poor Hurley.
Kate removes it and asks him what happened. Hurley replies, they left me.
Man, I gotta
What
say,
Fuck is going on?
No
Like-
shit.
jumping ahead slightly, Locke was brilliant to use Hurley for this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Who would
'Cause-
suspect?
Nobody.
I
Yeah.
disagree,
Not
but
me.
we can talk about that a little bit later.
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
Hurley is now sitting in the chair with Sayid standing over him and Kate and
Ready
Miles
to
nearby.
torture.
Exactly. He says, Locke's gone off the reservation, man. I mean, he took this one chick hostage. He said Walt was the one who told him to kill the other chick. And he said, Sayid interrupts him to say, Walt? Hurley continues, dude, don't ask.
Walt.
Don't ask.
Walt.
I was like just trying to argue with him so he would just like, chill. But Miles tells Hurley to stop babbling and just say where they went. When Hurley questions his identity, Miles calls him Tubby.
Mhm.
Hurley says,
Got
"Oh,
another.
awesome! The ship sent us another Sawyer."
Yeah.
Miles was a real dick in this scene. I mean, you don't
Yes.
even know Hurley, and
You can't call him Tubby until you know him.
I mean, you can't call him Tubby at all, but
Yeah.
he's just rude.
Yeah, I don't know. He just grates on me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
think
don't
he's-
even
I think
go
he's
here,
designed
Miles.
to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely designed.
Change his name to Kilometers.
Derek said change his name to Kilometers.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
The ever-patient Sayid asks Hurley gently where they went. Hurley says he doesn't know, but that they all left together and they were freaked. Locke said the people on the ship were here to rescue Charlotte and then kill us.
Mm.
Yikes.
He turns to Miles and asks, "So, are you?" Hurley looks frightened when Miles responds, "Not yet."
Oh, my God.
Referring to what you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Exactly. Sayid wonders if they said anything else. Hurley tells him they were going to go by Ben's house before they took off, and for all he knows, they'll find Ben in a closet too.
Mm-hmm.
To which Miles gloms onto that very quickly and says, "Where's Ben's house?"
Oh, boy.
Back at Camp Helicopter, Jack asks Lapidus if the Red Sox really won the World Series.
Oh,
And
my goodness. I love it.
Lapidus is like, "Oh man, don't get me started on that. My dad's
Yeah.
from the Bronx. I bleed Yankee
Fucking
blue."
Yankees fan.
Uh-huh.
Jack chuckles about how it's been 100 days since he's seen a game. Faraday then turns suddenly to look into the sky, and a high-pitched whistling can be heard. Faraday is excited and points to that you can actually see the payload that was
Uh-huh.
reportedly showed up there earlier is actually in the sky now.
What?
And it's leaving a contrail behind it, zipping around, and it just, you hear it, comes right in and lands just yards from the helicopter and the men in sort of like a
dangerously close to the
Yeah,
helicopter.
yeah.
Dangerously close. Like
This
you
would have
couldn't
been
do
a
your
broken helicopter if it hit it.
Yes, exactly.
you couldn't do your experiment like several yards the other into the
Yeah,
field. I don't
right.
know. Whatever.
Imagine somebody was just walking by when that happened. Hey, guys, I got some lemonade. Boom, cut in half by a rocket.
Took his head off.
Yeah.
Mikhail pops out of the bushes again.
Exactly.
And the payload decapitates him. And then we see him like 6 episodes later. And he's like, it's a good thing the payload was on the low.
I was only mostly dead.
Oh, shit.
Faraday runs towards the payload, and Jack looks kind of shocked and confused. Lapidus, again, cool as a cucumber, doesn't look particularly interested. Daniel Faraday pulls the payload from the ground and screws it into 2 halves. He tells Jack it's a rocket and then removes a small object from it. As
I
it
call
beeps, he looks at. Okay.
Oh?
So Jack asks, "What is that?" And Faraday says, "It's a rocket." Like, duh, Jack. But also the fact that Faraday was able to just pick it up and unscrew it like
yes.
It would be
seconds
hot.
after it landed.
Yes.
It would be so fucking hot.
Yeah.
You would not have been
Yeah.
able to touch it.
Yeah.
That's true. You're right about
Exactly. Exactly.
Fucking writers.
Except if there's some sort of time thing going on here where it could have actually like cooled within that time frame. Like we don't really know what happens.
It's like a
between
31-minute cool time.
Oh, yeah.
within there.
The island is
That's
special.
because I thought the same thing. Is even if the rocket fuel had out and it had glided in, it would have been going so fast that the metal surfaces probably would have been hot just from the air.
Right.
Yeah.
Friction.
Yep. So he pulls out something from the rocket, and it's beeping. Jack is confused again. Lapidus looks kind of amused by the whole thing. Daniel seems a bit upset, and then he runs to the tripod and compares the clock with the one from the rocket. And the first one reads 2:45:03, and the second one reads 3:16:22.
What?
Faraday mutters to himself,
Okay.
31 minutes. Oh no, that is not good.
Huh?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
What?
So now they're fucking with time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Juliet then appears, followed by Desmond, who is carrying a rifle. His face is one of amazement when he sees the helicopter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Juliet
great.
laughs, and Desmond says, well, look at that. He smiles, and she nods at him.
Oh, again, their faces. I'm like feeling the excitement and the joy through the characters.
Yeah, and this helicopter is actually landed safely as opposed to the one that fell into the ocean when they were on their camping trip.
That's right.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's right. Well, they didn't
That
have
was,
Lapidus
Naomi's.
flying that one, obviously.
Yeah, camping.
Yep.
Camping. That's right.
Camping.
Camp. A door opens on a room where a picture of young Alex can be seen. Sayid, Miles,
young,
Hurley,
Ben.
and Kate
Too
enter.
young.
Oh my
maybe
God.
at that
Oh
moment.
my
Maybe at that
God.
moment. Sayid tells everyone to look for anything that might hint at where they went. Miles glances around. Kate draws her gun and kicks through a door into Ben's bedroom. Tribal masks are seen on the wall, and his bed still has the lift bar on it. Kate turns her attention to the closet, where she opens to reveal nothing but empty hangers and a small box of shelves inside. A small box on a shelf inside.
There you go.
Sayid runs his fingers along some books on a bookcase, then glances down, and he notices scratches all over the floor, looking like this is where they had slid this thing
Right.
before against the hardwood. He swings the bookcase out, and it reveals a dark hallway. He draws his gun and enters. He turns on the light, revealing racks of clothing, suitcases, and a desk.
Ooh.
Interesting.
He opens a drawer that contains rubber-banded foreign currency. He picks up a stack of British currency and rifles through it. He opens up another drawer, which is full of passports. The top passport is from New Zealand.
My
Where
God.
hobbits come from.
That's
Yes.
true.
Hobbitville.
Hobbiton, you
Shuffles-
fucking weirdo.
Hobbiton.
What's wrong with you?
Hobbiton.
Hobbitville.
Shire.
Yeah, South Farthing. Come on, don't get it twisted.
Wow. He also opens the one from the Kiwi passport is on top, but then he picks up and opens one, and I think it was Swiss.
Kiwi and Swiss. I don't know if that goes good together.
Inside the passport is a picture of none other than Ben Linus.
Of course.
Kate looks under Ben's bed. As she does so, someone enters the room wearing jeans and tan work boots. She stands up, gun at the ready, and who is there but Sawyer?
Oh,
What?
boy.
Holds
Hurley,
a finger to
you
his
bastard.
Sawyer holds
We're
a
not
finger
there
to his
yet.
lips in a gesture of silence and closes the door. Kate ignores him and calls out, Sayid.
Damn,
She
Kate.
calls out to
Yeah, she-
Sayid. Yes.
Yeah, she didn't care. She
Yeah.
didn't even hesitate.
Yeah.
Sayid immediately puts the passports away and starts to exit from the room, but runs right into Locke, holding him at gunpoint.
Oh, boy. Ambush.
Yeah.
Yep. Locke says, don't worry, Kate's fine. Sayid scans the room to see Danielle has a gun on Miles. Hurley approaches and Locke says, good job, Hugo. Sayid looks truly let down and Hurley says, sorry, dude.
Here's where I'm saying that Locke getting Hurley to be the decoy was a terrible idea. Hurley's a terrible liar. I'm not buying that he was suddenly able to be so convincing. Something
true.
it just doesn't
Yeah, he
add
did
up.
do such a great job. Yeah.
I'm thinking that after Charlie died, to him, it's like maybe it's higher stakes now. And he's able to sort of like kind of steel himself because he still wants to believe that Charlie didn't die for nothing. And he feels like if they go the way that, if he goes with Jack's team, then Charlie died for nothing. If he sticks with Locke, despite having to do this, then he's honoring the memory of his friend. So I agree. Historically, he would not be the guy that you want lying for you.
No,
But I have to-
that's what surprised me with it.
Yeah. I thought the same thing at first, and I had to go over it several times before. I was like, well, maybe he's just reached a new level of confidence or resolve. I don't know.
I have something to say on that too, but he didn't really have to lie. They kept his lies minimal. All he had to say is, they left me. That's the only lie he told. Everything else he said was absolutely true. Locke's gone berserk. He's talking to Walt. He's da-da-da-da-da, the whole
That's
speech.
actually, that's true.
Every
Yeah.
single thing he said was true.
And they left him. It's technically not a lie. They left him.
They
locked
did
in the room.
leave
I
him
mean,
technically.
Yeah.
So he didn't actually have to lie. He just had to say what was real, but not say what side he was on. So that could
Right.
also be an explanation.
I still call shenanigans.
You're not buying that either, huh?
I'm kind of I'm falling between here. I see Christie's point because even if he didn't have to say anything, like his body language would betray that he's lying.
Well,
if
and he
he's the Hurley of old.
and
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. His body language, he would betray himself,
Yeah.
and maybe he doesn't actually lie, but it is a lie of omission.
That is
Is that
true.
a lie?
But you also have to take into consideration that the people that he's telling this to, they are on board with thinking that Locke has gone berserk. And so their first instinct is going to go, see, I knew it, before considering that maybe Hurley is in cahoots with him, I think. So I still think it would... I still think that it was... I think it was a smart move. I also think it's the first time you question like the island, the mayor of Island Town, like, wow,
Yes,
Like,
it'll be
a little bit
reflected
of
on my ratings
deception.
later.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I think it's cool that we all had like a slightly different take on that. Like every one of them were totally legit, but we all had a slightly different take on that.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Back to the story. Sayid walks across the barracks grounds with Danielle at his back holding a rifle. She says, sorry, Sayid, nothing personal. Sayid
Wow.
inquires about Locke's location, and Hurley says he's talking to the angry Chinese guy. Sayid assures Hurley that he's not going to hurt him. Hurley isn't convinced and says, yeah, I saw you snap that guy's neck with that breakdancing thing you do with your legs. I think I'm going to hang back here.
Break dancing.
Oh my god.
Danielle opens a door and Sayid steps inside a room. She locks the door behind him, leaving him in there with tied up Ben Linus in a chair. Ben says,
Oh, boy.
well, I guess they're running out of jail space.
Always.
Sayid looks a bit annoyed at his predicament and rattles the metal grates on the window. As he's pacing the room looking for a way out, Ben tells him he lost $1 betting John that Sayid wouldn't be stupid enough to fall for Hurley as bait.
Damn.
Sayid wonders what Ben knows about their friendship, and Ben says, I know it's no use having friends you can't trust.
True.
Wow,
Just
Ben.
stick it in there. Yeah. Love it.
Kate moves the curtain aside and looks out the window before turning to confront Sawyer. So, what, am I your prisoner? She asks. Sawyer says, yeah, if that kind of thing turns you on.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
Kate sits on the bed looking angry. Sawyer looks bummed he didn't get the kind of reaction he was hoping for. Which
Yeah.
could you really blame her at this? I mean,
No.
is that really going to work? Oh my God.
Yeah, ew, no.
Yeah. Kate wants to know why Sawyer is with Locke. Sawyer finds this ridiculous and says, I'm not with him. She challenges that. So he says, then what are you doing with Jack?
Well,
She says she went with Jack because she believes he can get them off the island. So Sawyer tells her that's the difference. He isn't looking to leave. She wants to know why and tells her there isn't anything for him there, meaning the outside world.
Absolutely
You know,
right.
I think that this is the first time we've really heard Sawyer say there's no reason for me to go back.
Yeah.
And I think that Ben Linus got to him when he was like,
Yeah.
you know, here you're handsome
Yeah.
and, you know,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
You're
But
free.
back there, you're a low life piece of shit.
Still handsome, but yeah.
A handsome
Yeah, you're a low life con man.
Yeah.
Low life handsome con man.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly. So, I mean, handsome
for
no matter
sure.
where
He
he
has
is.
a point. I mean,
Well, not
No.
only does he have a point, but he has a point for Kate too.
Yeah.
You're a
Absolutely.
fucking fugitive.
this whole scene, yes.
Yeah, you have everything here. Look at the barracks. Just stay here with me.
You've been running your whole life or
Yeah.
most of your life.
I don't have to be a con man. You don't have to be a fugitive. Like, let's just stay here. But she
You can do
is
it.
not. She's rejecting it. I don't know what her fucking deal is. Whatever.
Maybe she likes running.
It's just been weird that since day one she has wanted to get off the island. And it's
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
what are you trying so hard to get back to? You have nothing.
Yeah.
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 Your mother doesn't even ever want to see you again.
Yeah, I would want
Right.
to see her again. Her mother, that is.
Yeah.
Well, Kate wants to know after he says that there's nothing, back there for him. She wants to know if this place is much better. And so he says, why do you want to go back, Kate? Seems to recall you being shuttled off to jail before we landed here. So if you think there's really anything waiting for you back there other than handcuffs, then you really don't know how the world works.
Ooh.
Look around us, Freckles. We got roofs over our heads, electricity, showers, beds. Kate wants to know how long he thinks they'll be able to play house.
Say you love her, Sawyer. Tell her.
Sawyer, looking coy, says, well, why don't we find out?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, we're all on board for that. I don't know what her deal is.
Yeah.
Oh, other than maybe Jack is saying he loves her and Sawyer is not.
Sayid is sitting on a pool table with his arms crossed. Danielle opens the door, and Locke enters carrying a tray with a pitcher and several glasses. Ben glances at him with animosity. Locke sets down the tray.
You know,
and pours a glass.
it reminds me of Mikhail in The Flame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With the tea.
The iced
yeah.
tea.
That tea was
That's
nasty.
immediately what I thought of.
Yeah,
it
the
looked
piss
like
tea.
piss.
But yeah, it's
the
reminiscent of that. But now, of course, Locke is not playing chess. He's the one bringing drinks.
But I also wondered when I saw that, why the fuck is Locke giving Sayid anything that's glass?
Oh, well,
That's
there's that
also
too.
a really good
Yeah.
question.
I mean, he could easily break it and fucking shove broken glass into Locke's throat or his
With his
eyeballs or
feet.
something.
Or probably
Yeah,
he could
apparently.
fix a helicopter with it if he really
I
wanted
know.
to.
I know.
He says he thought Sayid might be thirsty. Ben raises his hand and says, I'm thirsty.
Nobody fucking cares.
I
Locke
do.
glances at Ben and then ignores him.
Mm.
Locke apologizes for the theatrics, but he wasn't sure how many there were or if they would be armed. Said I needed to cover my bases. Sayid wants to know where Miles and Kate are. He says Kate is with Sawyer and Miles is somewhere else. All
Oh,
he did was question him, though he got no answers.
Pretty much.
Sayid wonders if he had more luck with a captured woman. Locke says, not particularly. Sayid thinks Locke should give him Charlotte. He agrees that the freighter people are liars and that they're not there to rescue anyone. But if he returns with Charlotte safely, they'll trust him and let him on the ship. Sayid makes the case that... Yeah.
That's a good plan.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really good plan. Basically saying this is our best chance to find out why these people are here, what they want.
Yep.
Locke sets his glass on the floor and walks to Sayid. He tells him that he can save him all the trouble of that because Ben has a man on their ship. Sayid stands up and moves towards Ben. He asks, who? Ben replies, it's a secret.
Yes. Yes. Love it.
Oh, so good.
Sayid turns to Locke and says, forgive me, but the day I start trusting him is the day I would have sold my soul. Give me Charlotte.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Allow me to do things my way, or war is coming, which we will both be powerless to stop.
Oh.
Wow.
Locke wonders why he would give Charlotte for nothing, so Sayid apologizes for the misunderstanding. He smiles and says, I never expected you to give her to me for nothing.
Now pull down your pants so I can torture that cock.
Oh,
Oh my God.
God.
What?
Oh,
Torture that cock.
Fuck.
Sorry, I don't really know.
I've got to do a flash forward with that on my mind now.
Really,
Wow. And it's funny where they're at.
I
Yeah.
don't really know what came over me. Sorry.
I don't know, but you're talking about torturing cocks.
Yeah, seriously. Elsa and Sayid lay in bed curled up together. She wonders if they should get dressed. He says no and kisses her stomach. She chuckles and said they're going to have to get up at some point. Sayid is also going to have to do that job that he never talks about. Sayid says that there's nothing to tell. Elsa replies, I know nothing about you. To which
Sayid says, you know what my dick tastes like.
Oh, fuck.
And then when you torture it,
Sorry. I don't know what's happening to me over here.
It's
it's
like-
like horny here. Or
You
something.
need to take a break and go masturbate real quick or something.
I could, because look, I have my vibrator right here on
my
my
God.
desk.
It's never far away.
Don't leave home without it. Or
Well,
don't
you
let
know,
it leave
Probably
your
has
side.
one in. She probably has one in every room of the house, just like I have chapstick in every
Yeah.
room of the house.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm down here on the computer. I'm doing homework. Or I'm doing podcasting. And sometimes I just need to take a break and fuck my vibrator. You know,
There you go.
Rub one out real quick.
Yep.
vibrate it out. But yeah,
Vibrate it, yeah.
You're still rubbing with the vibrator.
Indeed.
No, sometimes you just hold it there.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Moving
Anyways.
forward.
Yep.
Elsa, not sidelined by this conversation we're having,
Uh-huh.
continues. I understand you don't want to talk about the crash or what happened to you, but what about your life now? What about you? That's what you do when you're in love, right?
Oh.
Whoa.
Sayid notices the word love, and Elsa confirms she meant it. They passionately kiss. Sayid tells her he
Whoa.
won't keep secrets and asks her what she wants to know, just as Elsa's pager beeps. She gets out of bed to say her boss is at the hotel and she has to go. I noticed in this scene when they're cuddling, there's a fly. Like you see it in frame. I rewound it a couple times, and there was actually like a fly or something flying around. It was kind of funny to me.
You notice the weirdest
I
things.
know.
Yeah.
Brundlefly.
Oh God. As she's frantically looking for her dress, Sayid tells her to leave Berlin. She
Oh,
gets
no.
confused. Sayid gets out of bed and starts to dress. He tells her she can't be in Berlin any longer because people will be asking questions soon about what happened to her employer. She's very
Oh, boy.
confused and now asks Sayid who she is as she realizes aloud that he meant to meet her in the cafe.
I think she asked who he is, not who she is, because she doesn't have like amnesia.
That's right. Yes. You're right. You're right. I read that wrong. Who am I? You're Elsa, silly.
What is this vibrating thing next to me?
Obviously, Lacey's been here doing some dick torture. Sayid says it's best she doesn't know anything, but then she outright accuses him of wanting to kill her boss. So he tells her
Yep.
the boss is on a list.
Oh, that's interesting.
Another list.
We know somebody who likes lists.
Somebody else had a list earlier.
Oh.
Elsa freaks that he has a list of people to kill.
I mean, that
He
is
tells-
sort of shocking.
Yeah.
He tells her that the list comes from his employer.
Oh boy.
She wants to know who that is, and Sayid snaps at her. It doesn't matter who he is. Elsa says, you just kill people because they're on a list? Innocent people? Sayid
They're not
replies,
innocent.
the man you're working for is not an economist.
Oh, boy.
Elsa glances in the mirror and tightens her lips, nodding. She turns towards Sayid and pulls a gun, shooting him in the shoulder.
Oh,
What the fuck?
what the hell?
He falls onto the bed surprised. Elsa gets her cell phone off the bedside table. She returns to the closet, dialing. In German, she speaks to someone and tells them that they paged her at the wrong time. She says she didn't kill him, but there's no way he's going to give up the name now.
Oh,
She disappears
my.
around the corner, and Sayid picks up something off the table. Elsa, still in the
She meant
closet.
to meet him at the cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah. There, we're working each other.
Yep.
Elsa can be heard saying she's going to bring Sayid to the safe house to whoever is on the phone.
Safe
She hang-
house.
She hangs up and Sayid throws an object at the mirror, shattering it. Elsa, running back into the room, can't actually see what's going on because the mirror is now shattered.
Mhm.
As she comes within Sayid's range, he pulls out a gun and shoots her twice in the abdomen.
Fuck.
She falls to the floor, breathing heavily. Sayid pushes himself across the floor to get to her, where she dies.
Ugh.
Sayid caresses her hair and closes her eyes, beginning to cry.
Sayid.
His hand trails down her arm and stops on a silver bracelet resembling the one he removed from Naomi's corpse,
Ooh.
which I think we found that you say is a dead end here.
Yeah.
So we won't worry about that.
Correctamundo. We don't have to worry about that.
On the island, Faraday is fussing with his equipment. Lapidus is crossing the field with Desmond behind him, holding the copy of the photo of him with Penny that Naomi had. Desmond is being
Why?
forceful
Why does
about
he-
getting Lapidus to explain why she had it. Lapidus says, look, man, you got to understand something. She was senior management. It's not like we hung around the cafeteria
Senior
together.
management.
She stayed on her own. Desmond says that Naomi claimed that the woman in the picture hired them. He wants to know if Lapidus had ever heard or has ever heard of Penelope Widmore. Lapidus looks at Faraday, who looks away. Desmond says, fine. You don't want to tell me the truth? I'll find someone who will. He points at the helicopter and says, when that takes off, I'm on it.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm on it.
Why are they staring at each other? Why are they staring at each other over Penny's name if it's
know.
not her
Yeah.
ship? Interesting.
Well, her father's rich.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh, so is it Widmore? You mean like it's Widmore that they're reacting to, not Penelope?
Could be. Yeah.
Mm. Interesting.
He could afford a freighter.
I would assume so, yeah.
Mhm.
Fucker.
Sayid appears over the ridge. Juliet notices him, and she and Jack move toward where he is. And that's when Charlotte appears over the ridge.
God.
Charlotte.
Dan Faraday notices her and stands up. Lapidus steps towards them, concerned. Jack asks about Kate, and Sayid said she chose to stay. And Jack looks very confused.
What?
You know what I
Lapidus
just
asks
thought
about-
of, Ben? Remember when we were in Berlin and we went to the castle there, the palace, and it's called Charlottenburg?
Charlottenburg, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. It
Yeah.
just crossed my mind when you said it. You keep saying it that way. And that's funny
Charlottenburg,
because,
yeah.
because the episode has Berlin. That was fun. We watched,
Yeah.
we had a fancy dinner and then what the orchestra played, Mozart, right? Wasn't
Yeah.
it
Well,
Mozart?
Berlin was
it was
cool.
it was a concerto. Yeah, they were playing a concerto. That was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it was really cool.
Lapidus asks about Miles, and Sayid says, I traded him. Frank is confused, so Sayid explains the deal was Charlotte for a ride to the freighter. Here's Charlotte. Lapidus says, you cheated. And Sayid says, did I?
No, he
Lapidus
just
says,
said
it's
he's gonna
lucky.
bring Charlotte back.
Exactly.
Lapidus says, it's lucky for Sayid that Miles is nothing but a pain in his ass. Frank offers
agree.
Charlotte a spot on the helicopter, but she declines, saying she has work to do. Faraday decides to stay with her, and then quietly says to Lapidus, just one thing. Just be sure that you follow the exact bearing that we came in on, no matter what. By that, I mean no matter what. Just stay on it.
Really?
Well, now what bearing could that
bearing?
be?
325, perhaps?
Oh.
Why is that bearing so special?
Well, we shall
Jack-
revisit that topic in a couple episodes from now.
Jack hands Sayid a rifle and tells him to be careful. Sayid is surprised he doesn't have to talk Jack out of going. Jack wishes him luck and asks for a postcard.
He's staying because of Kate.
Mhm. Sayid then tells Lapidus that they should use the open spot to take Naomi's body back.
There's where the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sayid lays Naomi in the back of the helicopter. Desmond and Frank are in the front of the helicopter, and Frank readies the controls. Sayid covers Naomi's face and backs up and sits down in the back. The rotors begin to turn, and Frank closes the door. The helicopter lifts off. Sayid watches the island recede out of the door wistfully, and the helicopter flies out of the ocean, Jurassic Park style.
Oh, yeah. That's totally Jurassic Park style.
I don't know about you, but so far there have been 2 helicopter incidents where these helicopters have gone down. He's not strapped in at all. I would be strapped the fuck into that helicopter.
Hell yeah.
Lapidus lives dangerously. Okay.
He does, man.
Drinking and flying, for one.
That's how he rolls.
Well, we don't know that he's drunk now.
No.
That's
The fact that he has drank and flown is bad enough.
Yeah, when he gets back to the freighter, he's going to get shit-faced, though. I think we all know that.
Christian and Jack both like to drink and
Operate.
perform surgery.
Drink and operate, yes.
Oops. Oh.
Flash forward number 4.
They're off the island.
And this is a big one, y'all.
Holy shit.
This is a big one.
A row of dog kennels can be seen with dogs yipping and barking inside. Sayid enters the vet clinic through a set of double doors, cradling his arm. He's in obvious pain when a male voice tells him to take his shirt off. Well, but some dick torture is about to happen, I think.
Whoop, whoop.
Sayid removes his jacket. A procedure room is seen with a light trained on a table covered in paper. Sayid takes off his shirt and sits. A man walks past him and trains the light on Sayid's wounded shoulder. The man wants to know if Elsa is dead.
Now, did you recognize his voice, Derek?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, holy fucking shit.
Crying, Sayid tells him yes. While sticking the needle into Sayid's wound, the man asks why she didn't kill him. Sayid tells him she wanted information about who he was working for. And then he says, information about you.
Oh, boy.
Of course she did, replies Ben fucking Linus.
Oh, my
fucking
God.
God.
Oh, my God.
Wow. I was like, this is a flash forward.
Oh, my God.
What the fuck? Besides working for him? What?
Yeah.
Right.
What?
Indeed.
The day I trust Ben Linus is the day I would have sold my soul.
Exactly.
Oh, boy.
So Ben is looking sort of dispassionately at Sayid while he's crying and says, why are you crying? Because it hurts or because you were stupid enough to care for her? These people don't deserve our sympathies. Need I remind you what they said, what they did the last time you thought with your heart instead of your gun?
What?
Uh-oh.
What?
Sayid says Ben used that to recruit him into killing.
Oh,
Ben
boy.
asks Sayid if he wants to protect his friends or not. And Sayid says, but they know I'm after them now. And Ben replies, good. Lost title screen, end of episode. He also said in there, which I don't think was written down, he said also, I have another name for you. Just like,
Yes.
I'm patching you up and sending you
name.
back out to kill.
On the list.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh my gosh, I'm covered. Even my titties are goosebumped right
Yeah, I
now.
got some
like,
goosebumps right now.
oh, Ben. Ah. Okay. Shall we do some fun facts?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. So earlier in the episode, Elsa mentioned that her boss was an economist, but she doesn't actually know what he does. And that got me thinking, I don't even really know what the fuck an economist does either.
Somebody that knows the
Something with numbers.
the mathematics of economics, of probably accounting and finance, and understands the theories that drive economic trends and kind of cause and effect within economic models. I mean, that's
Okay, so I guess we're done with the fun facts.
Fun facts are over.
that's one of the
best or worst, Ben.
like I work with a lot of people that work in economics and type of stuff. So I think
All right,
economics
but-
are.
Well,
Sorry.
guess what? Do you know what you've accomplished? Nothing, because I'm still going to read everything that I have on here.
No, you know what she's going to do? She's going to bust out the Gilgamesh.
I'm going to
There
Gilgamesh
we go.
you for that one.
Gilgamesh.
So I was going to say there's a possibility that Elsa and I are the only ones who don't fully understand economics. Clearly, Ben's not on that fucking list.
I mean, my response was Economist shit. So,
well, exactly.
Shit to do with economics.
Today's fun facts are: what exactly is an economist? So, when I first looked this up, I found the definition as an economist is a professional and practitioner in the social science discipline of economics. And I thought,
wow, that's
thanks.
very helpful.
And that is why I have no idea what an economist does. So
You're
I
not
looked
supposed
up
to use the word in the definition of the word.
Yeah, right? That's like third grade. Come on.
Right.
Okay. So I looked up where economists work next. So I thought maybe that would help me a little bit. Turns out they can be found in academia, the government, the private sector. Yep, basically everywhere. Typically employed in places like banking, finance, accountancy, commerce, marketing, business administration, lobbying, and not-for-profit or nonprofit organizations. So essentially,
firms.
Here's what I had written down, but Ben basically already said it. They study data and statistics in order to spot trends, and economic activity is essentially what they do.
Thanks, Merriam-Webster.
Yeah. So they do use like advanced statistical analysis and mathematics and computer programming to run, trends and look at things like that. So within the field, there are many subfields which range from like philosophical theories of economics, like trickle down, things like that.
Micro and macroeconomic theories.
Right. My next sentence was to the focused study of minutia within specific markets, which is microeconomics. And then there's macroeconomic analysis as well. But here's the part that I actually found really interesting. So in contrast to regulated professions such as engineering or law or medicine, there is no legally required educational requirement for any sort of licensure to be an economist. Yeah. So in academia, most will have a PhD in economics, but the United States government will hire you as an economist based on you having any degree that either includes or was supplemented by 21 semester hours in economics and 3 hours in either statistics, accounting, or calculus. So basically, anyone with a degree can take a few econ courses and work for the government, which does not give me a lot of confidence in that. Is that a wrong assessment?
I
Ben,
only hire
the
the bestest people.
Two words for you, babe. George Santos.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Right.
Yes, of course, the founder of modern economics, George Santos. All right. So that's what is an economist. And thanks again, Ben, for
Captain Killjoy here.
Stepping all over my toes. That's fine.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Hey, should we do some best and worst moments?
Horses.
Okay. Derek, what are yours?
My best moment was at the end, of course, and it's revealed that Ben Linus is the one having Sayid kill people on yet another list.
Yeah.
Also, I liked that dialogue between Sawyer and Kate in Ben's bedroom about saying there's nothing back at home for either of them.
Yeah. All right.
Because he has a point, and, why keep running? I mean, if I was in their shoes, I'd be there, especially if Kate was with me.
Yeah.
My worst moment was finding out, it just kind of hurt when Hurley betrayed his friends,
Yeah.
I could see the motive, but it was just shocking for the mayor of Islandtown.
I also had that as my worst moment just because it's a little bit of a gut punch, but I do want to offer up a defense for Hurley. He really believes in Charlie, and this is sort of like a ends justify the means kind of thing, which is not.
I can understand it. Yes,
it's not normally something that I would I would say is a good path to take, but in this case, I want to defend him a little. You feel the same, Derek, but still, it made you sad.
Yes, I mean, I can see why, because he's dead set on Charlie.
Yeah. My best moment was Ben and Sayid at the end, because just like. What? I mean, holy fuck. I also have an honorable mention for a quote, and that is Jack saying, no, he was a torturer. That's a great line. Christy, what about you?
Best moment was absolutely the helicopter ride off the island, it must have been an amazing feeling for Sayid and Desmond to be able to get off that fucking island.
Yeah.
I also thought it was hilarious when Jack and Kate were talking about the trek to the barracks. And she's like, "Oh, now you know how it feels to be me." And he goes, "Well, does that mean I should wait 20 minutes and go anyway?"
That's
that was
such a
good.
great line. Such a great line.
My worst moment was all of the whole Sayid thinking with his dick.
What?
I mean, you still haven't learned, Sayid.
Oh, that's true.
He's a sucker for a blonde, I guess. Well, not Nadia, but there's the last two. Ben, what about you?
Okay. My best moments. I think one of my favorites was when Hurley said, "Great, the ship sent us another Sawyer."
Yes, that is a good one. Yes.
I also like two of Ben's lines. His last line, "Good." That was like kind of chilling. And then when he says, "I know it's no use having friends you can't trust," that was another great line. Worst moment, eXpressos.
Oh my God. I can't believe I didn't pick that. I really can't believe I didn't pick that. That is one of my pet peeves. That drives me absolutely fucking bananas when somebody puts an X in that word.
I know, I hate eXpresso.
Ugh. Shall we do some rankings? Ben, why don't you just keep going?
Okay. I did not have a bottom 3. I had a bottom 2. Second place, I put Elsa. And in the bottom, I put Sayid. Simply because, that whole the thing about basically like, seducing somebody just to work them and kill them. And she's doing the same thing to him. Something about it kind of reminds me of like every time Sayid, anytime there's pussy involved, Sayid just kind of turns into,
oh yeah, you don't like
it gets him so sidetracked, it gets him so off. So this is just a kind of a repetition of that, of the same thing we've seen before. My top 3, I'm going to put Frank Lapidus in third place, the mayor of Island
You
Town
are
Hurley
hot
in
for
second
Frank
place.
Lapidus.
I love Frank Lapidus.
Frank's Lapidus.
I mean, he took my anal virginity at the last episode,
Oh my
so
God.
now I'm hooked. And in second place, Hurley, because I actually really respect what he did. He's doing what he thinks is best for the group, and he did something that it may be seen as a betrayal, but he had to step out of his character, and he had to really step up in order to do that, and I respect that. And speaking of respect, mad respect for Ben Linus in first place, because once again, the dude's just a badass.
All right.
I'm not going to kill anyone. I didn't really have any kills in this episode, and I'm going to fuck the time shift. I'm just fuck Father Time up the ass.
For 31 minutes.
For 31 minutes.
Yeah, fucking back in the correct time.
All right.
Oh my
Call
God.
me Kronos, bitch.
Wow. Christy, what do you got for us?
So for my bottom, I'm going to start with a dishonorable mention since there are only 3 spots. So in spot number 4, dishonorable mention is Sayid for thinking with his dick.
Okay. God, I just disagree with you guys on Sayid. I guess we'll get there.
Me too.
All right.
Well, you're probably all going to disagree with this. My number 3 on the bottom was Hurley.
Wow.
This is the first time Hurley's gotten negative points in the entire show, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
And it came from Christy. That's even more shocking.
I know. I know.
And when we go through the power rankings, it's going to have
major consequences.
It does.
It does. We're going to get to those shortly.
I hope it does.
It does. I know. I saw the numbers.
This is all so sweet.
I was so disappointed in Hurley. I'm going to put Miles at number 2 because he's just fucking dick. And Locke is going to be my number 1 bottom.
Wow.
Number 1 bottom.
For my top 3, I'm going to start with, in third place, Juliet. Next, I'm going to go with Desmond, and I'm going to put Sawyer up on the top.
Wow.
Hey.
Because, I mean, he's finally starting to, be like, this is not a bad place for us to be.
Yeah. I think Sawyer could be happy in the barracks.
Yeah.
Playing house with Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As annoyed as I was by the storyline, I'm still going to fuck Sayid and Elsa.
Okay.
And then I'm going to kill Ben Linus.
Oh, you had to get him in there somewhere.
Of course.
Derek, how about you?
My third worst is probably just as shocking as Christie's. Is
Oh my
Hurley.
God. Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's why I only put him third worst. I didn't put him second. I put Miles above him because
Okay.
I put him third worst
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah,
you and I agreed on that.
And I put Elsa just because I don't know because she was going to kill Sayid. My third best is Sawyer because he's coming around about realizing just need to stay on the island.
Mhm.
Second is Ben Linus because he is
Whoop.
actually. I probably should have flipped it, but I just kept it this way. And first is Sayid. I just liked him in this episode. He's going down the list and doing his Sayid thing, even if he's distracted by pussy.
Doing his Sayid thing. Yeah, see, I agree. Like, for me, I don't hate Sayid in this, like the fact that he's going down this list and stuff, because the thing I always love about Sayid is when he's determined and he does what he has to do to get done what has to be done. And so that's how I view it in this, which
Same
I guess
thing.
you did
I mean,
too.
you get a
yeah.
little sidetracked, but maybe that was the whole point.
Yeah.
I'm going to fuck Elsa without the bullet holes, and I'm going to kill Miles.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to have the threesome with her and Sayid and no bullet holes.
Without the bullet holes, and you killed Miles. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have no one in the bottom. I just am really, I'm really struggling with that. I am going to kill Elsa, though. I didn't put her in the bottom because I didn't really mind the character, but I'm killing her because she shot Sayid, and that makes me mad. So in my top, though, third best, I had Sayid. I think I just explained why, so I don't really need to say that again. Second best, I had Locke for same reason. He's on a mission, and that's when I like Locke the best. Both of those characters, same thing. And then my top, Benjamin Linus. He is, again, always one step ahead. How the fuck is he off the island? How did he get Sayid to work for him? Are you kidding me?
I know.
And then I do have a fuck. I am going to have sexual relations with Daniel Faraday. No funny like scenario or anything. I just find
no
him
rockets.
Just going to torture that dick.
No, I just
there's going to be a red rocket.
Oh my God, he's not a dog. I'm going to try to finish this sentence for the fourth time. No funny scenario. I just find him adorable and would like for him to deliver his payload all over my face.
Oh my God.
And just not in your eyes.
Yeah, not in your eyes.
Exactly.
That stings.
Ben, can you please update us on the power
Ben.
rankings after season 4, episode 3, and let us know just exactly what Christy putting Hurley in the bottom has done.
I will do that. We'll start with the bottom. We've got Jack in third place with -7 points. Matthew Abaddon slipping into second place with -8 points. And Miles taking up the bottom of the bottom with -14 points.
We hate Miles.
Now,
all right.
Now, the top three, we've had
Oh, this is intense.
Frank Lapidus drops out of third place, being replaced by Daniel Faraday with 13 points.
Wow.
That brings Hurley into second place with 24 points.
Second place? Then who's in first?
And
who's in first?
In front by 1 point.
Oh my God.
Is Ben Linus.
Yes.
So for those of you that are
Look
not,
at Christy. Look at Christy.
who don't know how we do our scoring, had Christy not put Hurley in the bottom, she would not have helped propel Ben Linus, her favorite, into first
Thank
place.
you, Christy.
we got
Thank
you.
you.
It would have been a tie for first if I had not given a negative.
And if I wouldn't have either, so both of us, and I proudly accept them.
So there is no telling how long this is going to last. Can Ben Linus sustain a lead through a whole season? I don't know. I find it hard to believe, but I am going to relish this moment right now.
Yes.
Well, we'll see what happens next week.
Oh,
Christy's sabotage did not work.
Sabotage. She's going to get us next week. No,
I'm not. It's honestly not about sabotage.
Of course not.
Just really don't like the character. Yes, he's incredibly smart and all that, but yeah, he's gross.
He is ooky. I'll give him that. He's ooky, but
He is good at that. He is
Well, he's had
good
his face
at that.
bashed in for like the
I know
past
he
day
gets,
and a
he
half.
just gets the shit beat out of him like every episode now.
Yeah.
Yes, fuck.
He is
Ah,
pretty
all right.
Punchable face.
A punchable face, indeed. So, shall we do some final impressions? I'm just going to start with myself today. This episode is fucking awesome. Oh my God. like of all right now, we've seen 3 flash forwards, and this one is even more intense and confusing and shocking than the others. I love this fucking show. The flash forwards, they change the game. It's a completely different way of thinking. Now, everything that we see, we have to imagine how the hell they could possibly get there. And I'm so excited to see all of this unfold over this season. We, of course, now know we've got 4 of the Oceanic 6, right? Jack, Hurley, Kate, Sayid. I always found it surprising that they let us know those so quickly, but we've got 2 more to figure out and so much else to figure out as to like how these characters get to the flash forwards that we've seen. I fucking love it. Such a strong opening, episodes 1, 2, and 3 of this season. They're rocking it. Christy, what do you think?
Oh, it was a great episode. I'm super excited to see what comes next. Can't wait to see what's going on the freighter. Yeah, there's a lot that's gonna be happening, and I'm really, really excited about it.
I know. This season's great. Ben, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the flash forwards are kicking on all cylinders right now. I mean, we end up finding somehow that Sayid is killing for hire and is employed by Ben Linus. We have no idea what Ben Linus is actually doing, but he's doing some pretty grim shit off island. We also now have, Hurley basically stepping up and being not just a facilitator and a mayor, but actually a player within this group. And he's making some big moves. Then we also have the kind of time slippage thing of like, what the fuck is actually going on? They've only been on the island for maybe a couple hours, and all of a sudden they're already 30 minutes off. So it makes me wonder, well, if you've been on the island for 100 days, what does that mean?
Time dilation going on there.
Has it been years outside? Has it been just a couple of days? Like all that type of stuff, I start to wonder. And also the fact that the group itself from the freighter, they don't appear to have a single mission. They appear to be somewhat fragmented in what they're after, which opens up all kinds of possible new alliances and like all kinds of weird shit that's going to happen. So
either that or if they're on a single mission, we are certainly missing some fucking large pieces of what that means. Yeah. I think these first 3 episodes have been firing on all cylinders. I think it's probably the best of all of the seasons we've watched so far. I think it's probably the best 3 episodes in series so far. You mean like as a start to the series, or you mean just like 3 in a row?
I take any
just
3 episodes. I'd say the 3
see.
strongest episodes of all the seasons we've watched so far, I think.
Wow. High praise.
Yeah.
All right, Derek, what do you think of season 4 episode? Wait, what are we doing? 3. The Economist. And what kind of questions did it leave you with, Derek?
Yeah, I thought it was an outstanding episode. Each one has been better than the last. At least this season, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Got a lot going on. We find out that Ben Linus likes lists because he's having Sayid kill people on a list.
Yeah, he had a kidnap list on the island, kill list off the island. Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like we're still got the factions going on, and don't really know what's going on with the freighter, like what their ultimate or objectives are. But biggest questions are, well, there's quite a few, but biggest ones are, how the hell did Ben get off the island? Why is he wanting these people dead on the list? And how is that going to protect Sayid's people? And what is the deal with the 31-minute time difference?
Wow. Those are amazing questions. There are answers to all of them. We are going to get there. Some of that's this season. Some of that is next season. None of that is tomorrow. Well, that makes sense, but it's also none of it is next week either. Sorry about that. Listen, next week there are some big fucking reveals, okay? First of all, it's season 4, episode 4. It's called Eggtown. It's a Kate episode, and that's all I'm going to say, because one of those big...
Yoke.
Thank you. One of those big reveals is coming from us. You're going to get that next week, but you're also going to get the 5th Oceanic 6 name. And if you thought last week and this week had shocking endings, just wait for Eggtown. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Espresso.
Lost in My 40s is a Spacebear media production. Executive produced and edited by me, Lacey J. Sound engineering, editing, and original music by Benjamin Trimp. Like and follow Lost in My 40s on Facebook and Spacebear_media on Instagram and Threads. Plus, follow Spacebear Media on YouTube for extra video content. Or for everything in one place, go to spacebearmedia.com.